Welcome to another Scottish Watches video. This time we have a couple of interesting pieces on the desk here. The Kudoke 1 and 2. Is that right, Pietro?
That's correct, Ricky. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. We've got Pietro here, not in person due to current circumstances, but live through the arts of WhatsApp video. He is tucked up nicely at home with a microphone in front of him. I am in the studio here with these watches that he has sent up by secure courier. Let's get straight into it and tell us about these pieces that are on the desk.
Yes, Ricky, I'm really excited to be able to get these pieces in the UK. I believe for the first time is one of the brands, I call it a brand, but of course we're talking here of a contemporary watchmaker, Stefan Kudoke, a craftsman that was already known for his spectacular engraving work, hand engraving work. And he's moved onto applying his work onto watchmaking as well, with incredible success. Some of the, our followers, your followers may recall some of the incredible artwork coming out from engraving, shaping of mechanical movement that Kudoke is famous for. But in this case, we are focusing on two pieces that are absolutely stunning in their simplicity, considering, as I said before, how elaborate Stefan Kudoke's normal work is. So here we have the Kudoke 1 and the Kudoke 2, both of them on your desk as we speak. Kudoke 1 is, again, is a king of simplicity in a way, especially by staring at the piece from the dial, which is a very, classic and apparently plain white dial with a nameplate, the Kudoke nameplate at 3 o'clock, and the typical Valjoux 7750 architecture that shows small second and 9 o'clock. Now, I've said the typical Valjoux 7750, but the Valjoux 7750 is only the ancestor of this movement, which is actually a proprietary movement developed by Stefan Kudoke with the help of Abring. And when we'll turn the watch over, we'll see the details about it. In terms of the dial itself, again, there is a stark contrast between the simplicity of the dial itself and the hands. The hands are a very quirky and cool interpretation of the symbol of infinity, and they are in blue color, which is something that stands out, from the dial itself. The back side is absolutely revealing of what I was mentioning. So the strong link with the legacy of British watchmaking is to be found on, obviously, two elements in particular. You can see the hand engraving work, which is absolutely stunning on the balance cock, that obviously is very visible in the middle of the movement, as well as the frosted plate, movement plate, that has been also hand frosted. And these two elements are obviously a clear reference to the British pocket watches, especially from the 19th century.
This is the second one, quite similar to the first, but with an addition.
Absolutely. So we were talking about the simplicity of the dial of the K1. In this case, Stefan, as I mentioned, very well known as a master engraver, he wanted to put a piece of his own personal art on the dial as well. Now, there is a little trick going on there, Ricky, because you may wonder how come that he managed to fit a day and night indication at 12 o'clock, which is also slightly doomed, and with this low relief kind of presence to it, how he managed to achieve that without changing the thickness of the timepiece. So the trick here is that Stefan worked on a larger bezel. So the bezel itself is slightly higher than the K1, and this is a little trick that allowed him to be able to fit comfortably the day and night indication of 12 o'clock, and to magnify it for what it deserves, because that little detail is work again by hand by Stefan, where you can see an illustration of the sun and the rays. The rays are individually hand engraved with the burin again, same as the moon, which is in the gray part. So What Stefan has done, he has engraved on grey for both the sun and the moon, and then the sun has been plated to obviously give the indication of the day, in contrast with the indication of the night. So it's a little jewel within the dial. For everyone's information, this watch achieved a great point last year by getting the Grand Prix de l'Horlogerie Petite Aiguille prize, which is the special prize given at the Oscar of Watchmaking in Geneva for the category of watches below the 10,000 Swiss francs, and won the Petite Aiguille, which is a great achievement, of course.
Now, from the back, it doesn't look too dissimilar from the previous watch.
No, absolutely. No. The movement is the same.
Even with the day-night indicator.
The movement is it's the same movement applied on the two pieces, and it's just an additional display of a function that has been added on the K2. What distinguishes the high end to the entry level is the amount of time spent on the finishing. You can imagine on that balance cock with the hand engraving, Ricky, how difficult it is to reproduce the same result when what you're doing is with your hands, you are removing material by force, by pressing your fingers on the burin, and the burin would take material away. So you can imagine how hard it is to come to the same result. Stefan Kudoke, master engraver based in Dresden, with a exciting career in watchmaking now, and started with the right foot, and really enticing collectors all over the world. Is one of the names I was looking at with a lot of attention, and we're happy at the limited edition to have become official retailers of Stefan Kudoke watches, and you'll find a full range on the limited edition. And some of the pieces will surprise you, because the typical Stefan Kudoke production is very ornamental, is very baroque, and the hand engraving is taken to some very, very big extremes. And I invite you to discover the full collection on the limited edition to appreciate that.
No, that is fantastic. Well, listen, thank you very much for getting these watches to our studio. Hopefully the next time we speak, it will be in person, but who knows with the way things are going. And like you just said, if you like what you see here with these watches, check out the limited edition. Is it .co.uk? What's your web address there?
Correct, the limited edition.co.uk, and we have a nice little Instagram account where we try to create contents every single day on independent watchmaking, which is our passion, and we are adamant to take all the most exciting independent watchmakers to the UK, which is still a relatively virgin market for that. For the money, it's incredible. I mean, the quality, the finishing. I'm looking at this through a magnification zoom that most people will never get to, and it's, like you say, 20 grand plus, but these are coming in well below 10. So that's fantastic. Well, thanks again, and be sure to check out more of the Scottish Watches videos. We have a whole host of new videos coming with Pietro, live from across Zoom and WhatsApp, but you guys will appreciate what is going to be in store for you over the next coming weeks. So thank you, Pietro, and we will catch you again soon. Thank you, Ricky. I'll see you very soon.